Tsosie kanita siwan na luksine. Nisi tahu sa travel so beristi bekeni dressa saben eitel dayo rostu sa kalacho chinga nalzeo bekeni dressa yi lo de stredale isturanoni yaro sanale stusne au Dene Yati and Nase Oregon na pas intereses ni Oregon asi sa dunecho chala ni
Nechala nia ahungstel sala. Hello, salot ina dlanot. Once again, doing Zinik. We're live on Dene Yati podcast, Facebook and YouTube. Kusi Willis Janve Hushela Nintelas tours in Clearwater River Dene Nation band member at the SQ, I doing Zinik. I come to you live. They seen Treaty 4 territorial. Home of the Cree, Métis, Sioux, Assiniboine, Dakota. All the beautiful indigenous people of the South. Hello to Nidok out there with Tsosie. And say hi, say what's up at Inuthenzi. No hanena dao Ozio. I know they see behind the scenes. I got TikTok, the live as cloud. There mud hens hulias again. There so Colette. Background noise, eh? That's all background noise. We just keep it going. Nezula. Hello to me. Good evening, Stephanie Petit. And Doon Zinik. Hello from LA, Travis Laprice. Doon Zinik. I got a guest from you coming from Arizona, Navajo Nation. Josiah Tsosie. Marlene Grooms. Hello, Marlene Grooms. Atlantic. Hi, how are you? Atlantic LA is shining this evening. Desundia Nezuna Herelya. Nezuna sonst elasi da do. Bit of a rough day not I lay coleti has snoundela. Hello, Sharon Yazzie. Atlantic. So, like I was saying, Josiah, a Netflix documentary, Ine, Basketball or Nothing. It documentary, their high school basketball team had, throughout the year documentary. I think it's like 8 or 10 part documentary. But anyways, at the Navajo Dene Leon de la. So yeah, but in message us Clow and he said, yeah, si neo lino hala huntati daani. And yeah, I'm gonna bring him here in a second. Couple more shout outs and I'll bring him here. Kelly and Marlene Kwan, hello, good evening. Good evening, Yat. All the way from Fort Defiance, Arizona. Yat. Welcome. Nazund. Marlene Grooms. Hello. Yeah, with that, I'm gonna bring him in. Josiah doing by introducing you and all of it obviously is gonna be in English tonight. So must show. Hey Josiah, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Good. How's the weather down there? Is it nice and warm or what?
Oh yeah, I'm in Tempe, Arizona, so it's getting really hot. It's in the 90s, low 90s, so it's getting pretty hot.
Cool. Yate. I want to say welcome for being on Dene Yati podcast here tonight and say thank you again. And I'm probably going to say that a bunch of times, and it's an honor to have you as a guest here.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I'll get you to introduce yourself for the listeners here tonight, and we'll get going.
Oh, hi, I'm Josiah. I'm from Arizona on the Navajo Reservation. I now currently live in Phoenix for now, but yeah, I'm part of the Navajo Nation. So,
Cool, cool. How long ago was the documentary film?
oof. Um, what is it? Sorry, like 4 years ago.
3 4 years ago, eh?
Yeah.
What was that like for you? For having a film crew follow you around and
Ooh, it was very new because like we don't really have that much. Like a lot of kids are shy being on camera, so it took
yeah,
like maybe a week or so for us to really get used to them because they were following us around everywhere.
yeah,
So it took like maybe a week, and then some of the main stars you see, the people who stand out are the ones that really opened up. But
yeah,
some of the other basketball members, people on the team, just they kind of still shy. They still were shy and kept their distance from the film crew.
yeah, yeah. I know. We'll get into it a bit in a bit here. You opened up quite a bit, your family too. But what's it like? On the reservation down there. I know the Navajo. They, it's about I think 27,000 square miles of reserve there. What's it like living
Yeah,
on the red?
it's there's some areas, mainly the monuments, that are really beautiful. I mean, it kind of depends if the reservation is clean. There's no trash. There's no pollution anywhere. It can be a beautiful place. It can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
for tourists or anyone who wants to experience the native culture and stuff. If there's no trash or pollution anywhere, it can be a really beautiful place.
yeah. What's it like for you growing up as a Navajo Dene kid on the res? Big res, big space here. With their family.
Yeah.
What is that like for you?
It I don't know. It's really much all I've ever known my whole life until I actually came out here to the city life, and once I finally came out here to the city, it was such a big culture shock, especially coming to college. So, like, I don't know. Like for us, we call it home, so we've really not known anything. We don't really know anything else beyond the res until we actually experience it ourselves, and that's why I was in sports and I loved to play basketball and I did other sports, which got me opportunities to see, places off the reservation.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool. What kind of sports are you into? I know obviously basketball, but
oh yeah, I was in cross country and track and field as well.
yeah, you like to
Yeah,
run, eh?
yeah, I was really good. I was probably a way better runner than I was a basketball player.
Yeah, that's funny. I always find something. Um, but so growing up, you're always, it's a little different up here in Canada where, the reservation is usually outside of a small village or town where you guys, like Chinley, and there's like so many towns within the reservation. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
hmm
it's like its own little country within the country. Is that what it's like for you?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's so different because you can go into a town, and then
Yeah,
you can go like maybe a one or like a couple miles away from the town, and you'll be in like such a rural area, and then like another couple more miles, you'll be in another town. So like
yeah,
there's just towns and towns, and then in between those towns are houses and land that people own or for their livestock and stuff like that.
yeah,
So it's it's pretty crazy.
yeah. Is that something your family was into, like livestock and
Yeah, yeah. It depends on what part of my life you were talking about because like there's a lot that went on in my life because when I was such a young kid, when I was from maybe an infant to maybe around like 4 or 5 years old, I was really me and my family were really into like rodeo and stuff, and we were into like having livestock, like cattle and horses and stuff like that.
yeah. Hmm, cool. So you don't even you kind of grew out of that, or what? How is that?
Well, it kind of happened. So this is where like things are gonna get really like deep because that's when like it all happened when my mom and dad ended up getting divorced.
Mhm.
So that's when they split up, and my mom was living on my paternal we were living next to my paternal grandparents. So we ended up wanting to leave the area because like some drama went down. So we really didn't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad he was off working, doing whatever he does best, just I don't know. He wasn't really part of my life at that time. So I wasn't too worried about him, and we just wanted to relocate, move, or relocate our house to a different area where my mom was familiar from, where she was raised. So that's where we ended up relocating our our mobile home to, and so that's when things started getting rough because we had to get running water, we had to get electricity, we had to get like a water line running, we had to get electricity running to the house and everything. It just took a lot out of us. So for a while of my life, I was not I was living without running water and electricity. So yeah.
That's in Chinle, right?
Yeah, in Chinle, or
Yeah.
like a couple miles north of Chinle, actually. So we live pretty close. But we live between two towns, Chinle and Mini Farms. They're actually separated by like maybe 12 or 13 miles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just a lot of houses everywhere. Just out.
yeah, just houses and trailers and
Yeah. What is that like? I know you talked about it. Is a pretty heavy moment within the documentary. What is it like, growing up on the res where you don't have running water? You got to go to your families to,
yeah, it's
even
actually
having to
really
use the washroom, right? Like you,
yeah, it's tough because or sometimes we would have to haul water so that we could wash up and
yeah,
stuff like that. So I mean, it was even worse because it was during the winter, so it was really cold.
yeah,
And then once we started getting running water, we didn't have a water heater. So everything was cold and everything was in the dark. So every morning was, what my routine was when I was going to school at the time was I would wake up early in the morning, just wash my hair. I would probably only shower like once or twice a week because that's the only time I could go to my relatives and shower. Other than that, I would just wash my hair and wash my face and stuff.
yeah,
And I would get up, and then we would. So me and my family are very religious, and we'd do, of course, do our morning prayers and stuff like that. And I was an athlete at the time, so I would be doing my morning runs at the same time. So I'd do my morning runs, and then we do our prayers and stuff. Then that's when I would wash up and then go to school and then come back, and then we'd try to figure out something for dinner or to eat, and then go back to sleep.
mm-hmm. Hmm.
So I think that's why I really valued sports because I don't know what I would do from when I got out of school to when I would go to sleep.
Yeah,
Through that time period, I was always doing sports. I was doing something to keep me busy, and so that I think that really kept me out of trouble and kept me away from all the negative stuff that I could have
yeah,
gotten to that would have put me in a position to fail or yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's so relatable. I mean, I know for myself, just I'm in university as well, so I was writing about my life history, and I mentioned that a lot of sports help a lot of us indigenous people just to it's our safe space. I mean,
Hmm.
not that your mother or your sisters were any threat, but it's a little bit of comfort within. I mean, as a child growing up, if we missing something, we go somewhere to get it, right? Like,
Hmm.
and that's so, I mean, I feel you, man. Good for you for, you know, sticking to it. I know it can get heavy, but you're doing it,
Yeah, yeah.
you're doing it. And, man, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say because when you think about it, man, like, do you ever just sit and wonder, man, like where I'm at now, and
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, what could I have done in the past that would have changed how or like where I am today and stuff like that. And like,
yeah,
what if I did something different? Where would I end up? And I always think about that. And I'm always grateful for especially my mom. My mom is the biggest supporter in my life. She's always been there through thick and thin. She's set me on the right path. She's, always she's always been there for me. She's my everything. She's there for me all the time, and I can't imagine a world without my mom. So
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All it takes is one bad night out, and hey, you're
yeah,
staying on the res for life. I mean,
yeah, pretty much. That's how it
yeah,
is.
yeah, man. Good stuff, man. I want to say, yeah, good job for overcoming that. I mean, you're still doing it, and and that's kind of why I wanted to ask you to come on to, because it's so relatable, and a lot of people here, and young people. And how old are you now? You're
I'm 21 right now.
21, eh? And
Yes.
you're still in college.
Actually, no, right now. So I went to school, and I gotta say right now, school is not for everyone. School is not for everyone. I feel like we as Native Americans and people across the world are tricked into thinking that school is the only way we're going to be successful. So you have to go to school to be successful. You have to go get a degree to be successful, but that's somewhat not the case because the world is evolving, and there's new ways to be successful. There's new ways to get money. There's new ways to take care of your family and stuff.
Mhm.
So I was in school for maybe about one full school year, and then another semester again, and then I ended up transferring from ASU to another school so that I could do sports again. And then from there, I thought maybe, hey, I need to take a break because I found something else that I really want to do. I found out a passion that I really want to do. I found a passion for something that I really want to make work. And I've
Mhm.
been working on it for a long time, just putting in so many hours to it. And it's going slow. I'm getting there slowly, but it's coming along. And I'm finally happy that things are changing for the better for me.
Yeah, it's good. You want to share with us what you do, or is that something? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Right now, I stream video games. I'm a streamer. I
Oh.
stream a specific video game called Apex Legends. But like once maybe I start building a better community and a larger community, I'll be open up to more games and stuff like that. So yeah, I
Cool.
stream on Facebook right now. I used to stream on Twitch and YouTube, but those weren't going very well because Twitch and YouTube large had a lot of people, a lot of other streamers on there trying to do the same thing.
Hmm.
There's millions of people on Twitch, and it's really hard to get noticed and stuff. So, once I got a PC, and then I started streaming on Facebook, and then it's been going a lot better because I have a lot more of my friends who support me on there, and everything. It's been going a lot better. I've finally started making a little bit of money, and yeah, Twitch was going really slow. I've been streaming for months, just hours throughout the day, just streaming and streaming, and it wasn't working out. So I thought maybe I'd switch it up and go to Facebook for a while because I know I'm gonna be honest. I really don't want to work a 9 to 5 that I don't want to work because I don't want to just live that lifestyle. I want to do something that I want to do, and get up in the morning and something I'm excited something I'm excited for.
Yeah.
So
So what were you in college for? I know you in the documentary you got accepted to go to college. What was that program?
electrical engineering.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
what was
was.
it? Just one day, hey, this is not for me. Like why? You know, sometimes I share the same view. Sometimes I get like that. Like
Mhm.
I'm in school to be a social worker now, and some days, oh man, I feel you. What was that moment for you where you said, "Hey, a year, almost 2 years here, I got an education, and you had a scholarship, the Barack Obama
The
uh,
Obama scholarship. Yeah.
scholarship, where it was covered for the next 4 years, right? What made you say, "Hey, this is not for me"?
Just not having the motivation. Or I went through it in college. I was so used to having so many friends around. I was so used to having this and that there for me, kind of because of my mom. And at the same time, I was so used to having my friends with me. And then once I went to college, it was such a culture shock because it was such a big community. And I think one of my biggest problems was not knowing how to ask for help when I
Yeah.
needed it. And that's what like I want a lot of people to know is don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it, because that's what I was struggling with. Because once my grades started to go bad again, and that's when I was like not reaching out to people I should have reached out to help
Yeah.
me, like tutors and like maybe my teachers, my professors, to help me, like especially when I wasn't understanding some of the work.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out by myself. I was doing things, trying to do things on my own, when like in reality I could have asked for help and made things a lot more easier on myself.
Do you think you would have been in college still?
Yeah, I think so. I pretty much think so, but at the same time, like,
You're okay.
so I ended up doing really bad my first semester, and my second semester I did ended up doing pretty good. I was still maintaining the scholarship and maintaining the GPA I needed, and then once I got into my third semester, my second year, things didn't go well at all. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe I need to go to a different school, like because I had no motivation to do work. I had no motivation to do things that I needed to do, and like me, it was like maybe I need to start fresh. I want to start sports again because that's what I thought was in my head. That's what I thought was best for me, because throughout high school, sports was always my motivation. Like, sports is gonna get me off the reservation to make a for the better, and
Hmm.
sports is what always kept me motivated to do my work and keep my grades high, and making better decisions for myself.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought it was. So that's when I ended up transferring to a school in California, the Antelope University of Antelope Valley.
Yeah.
I ended up reaching out to the cross country coach over there. He helped me out a lot. In that point in my life, I was probably at one of my lowest. I was not well mentally and physically at that time. I was just not in the right shape to run, and the coach was like, okay, we'll take a chance with you, because he actually was following me through my high school year. Because he was following me through my high school year, trying to recruit me to go to another school in Oklahoma, but he ended up going to the school in California to coach. And then I reached out to him. He was like, okay, you know what, we'll give you a shot. We'll try to whip you back up into shape and everything. And I was doing really well until the pandemic hit,
Hmm.
the COVID. So I went there with two suitcases, a backpack, and that was it. 2 suitcases and a backpack on a train. 15-hour train ride, and then another 2-hour train ride from Los Angeles to Lancaster.
Hmm.
And all I had was a notebook, an iPad, and some pencils and some clothes.
Yeah.
That's all I went there with for. And the iPad was given to me my first year by one of my relatives. I think it was I don't know who gave me the iPad. So I didn't have no laptop or nothing, and I was doing all my work from the computers in the library on campus at the school in California.
Yeah.
And then once the pandemic hit, they closed down the school, and I could not access a computer. I could not, because the school, or the iPad I had, did not have the software to write in the APA style format that the school required for essays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I could not write essays. I could not do any of my writing assignments for my English class. But I could still do like some math homework on there, because they had a certain app that we could go to do homework and stuff like that. But I could not write essays in the APA format that I needed to write them in. And I tried contacting the professor and my coach and stuff. They said we would work it out, and time just went by, and I did not turn in any assignments because I couldn't. And I tried reaching out to some of my teammates saying, hey, could I, maybe borrow your laptop or something? But they were all busy, and I understood that they were all busy with their own assignments and stuff.
Yeah.
So things were just going bad for me, and from there, and I ended up failing the class, and that's when I ended up getting kicked off the team,
Hmm.
getting kicked off the cross country team, and the coach. I understand why he did it. He really did take a big risk for me
Yeah.
for how out of shape I was and stuff. And but I was so I ended up getting kicked out of school. I came back to Phoenix, and transferred back to ASU, and I took an online class. I was taking online classes, and I passed both those classes, and I was just like, you know what, this is not it. This is not what I want to do. I don't think this school is what I want right now. So then I was playing video games just like on the side whenever I had free time. And then one of my friends was just like, "Hey, bro, you're actually getting really good at this video game. You should start streaming and stuff." So
Mhm.
that's when I started streaming, and then I really liked it, and it was fun at first. But then like but I this is what I want to do, is my passion right now. I think this is what I really want to do, is become a streamer for now. And if it doesn't really work out, I think I'll end up finding a job, but I think I'll still work on trying to make the streaming thing work out for me.
Yeah. Streaming is fun, and
Yeah.
we'll get that to in a bit. I want to go back to, you had to deal with a lot of mental health stuff. How did it make you feel? Hey, because if I know for myself, if I never had something, I always felt like less than, and growing up, a lot of times we never had a lot of money for some
Yeah.
stuff. But my mom, just like your mom, made it happen too, and
Hmm.
I always thank my mom for that stuff. And being a goalie, it was expensive. You know, how did it feel for you? Did it just, like one day you break down? I know it happens for me sometimes where it's like, oh man, I should just quit. And, you want better. You obviously want better for yourself. But
Hmm.
let's talk about how you felt in that moment.
Like when I decided, I wasn't gonna go to school anymore, I was hurting, but at the same time, I was more worried about how I was gonna tell my mom and tell my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
And those people who counted on me the most, like who were like, "Oh yeah, I'm real." Like my mom was always proud of me. Like I did never wanted to tell her I didn't want to go to school, and because she was one of those people who was like, you have to go to school, get your degree, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a really bad feeling. It hurt a lot, but once I made up my mind of what I really wanted and what I was gonna do, that's when all the hurt went away, and then that's when the motivation started happening again. That's when I felt motivated again and started feeling better about myself again.
That's good, especially during the pandemic. It sounds like everything kind of happened to you during when the pandemic. I mean, the whole
Yeah.
world went through it, but you picked yourself up. It sounds like,
Hmm.
yeah, and that's good. That's good for you, And I understand everything, all your views. I'm not gonna argue here with you and say, hey, you should get back to school. But
Yeah.
good for you, man. And I just want to say some of my viewers here could do zinek eselot in it. Ano halhunta the dare Josiah Tsosie Hulieta Arizona Navajo Nation at Haljas Yaftida who Netflix documentary Basketball or Nothing Hulye one of the players Helini. So check it out. Go check out Basketball or Nothing tonight, or start it at least, and you get to see Chinle Wildcats. That high school had a pretty deadly gymnasium there. It almost looks like you're watching a NBA game or something, like some kind of professional sports. Is that how it is? All over the
Yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy, especially when it gets packed. It's a fun environment to play in.
Yeah.
Like you see the community coming together. Like the community has their own problems, their own things that they're going on, but maybe for just that 2 to 3 hours, they don't have to worry about whatever's going on outside. They can just enjoy themselves, have a good time, and that's when they become actual good. Like that's the best communities to play in front of because they're gonna be loyal to you. They're gonna follow you anywhere you go, and just
Yeah.
to have that little bit of fun. And I think that's what makes it fun about playing in that environment.
Yeah. We're all famous in on the res, eh?
Yeah,
You
pretty
know,
much, pretty much.
I think I mentioned this on a different podcast about hockey. You don't have to make it to the big show. You can always go home. The stands are always filled no matter. I myself played hockey, so on a Sunday the stands are always filled and it's so loud and it feels good, that.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. I mean it probably feels the same. You're probably more nervous on NBA or something like that, but I mean we're all famous on the res, we got to own that. Own it. Must see. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so Josiah, let's get into this live streaming here. I'll tell you, I started this podcast like in November,
Hmm.
and some days it's tough. You mentioned like you need the viewers and all that stuff, and
Yeah, you do.
in order to, it's a lot of trial and error. Share with us your journey about live streaming and the game. Maybe if you give me your gamer tag here, I'll share it so people can follow you.
Oh yeah, so the name is Beamer Boy, like a BMW Beamer, and then Boy,
BE
AMER.
boy.
Yeah, and then FB at the end. For
FB.
Facebook.
Yeah. And then people just search that on
On Facebook, yeah.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so I started taking streaming seriously around, let's see, September maybe? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, say September is when I really started taking it seriously. And so I had my Xbox. So the streaming platform Twitch is very budget friendly. That's the
Yeah.
reason why I think a lot of people go to Twitch.
Yeah.
It's very budget friendly. All you like, I have an Xbox and a monitor. That's all we basically need to stream on Twitch. So you just download the Twitch app, and then from there you can stream. And but for other platforms like Facebook, you need your Xbox, a monitor, another PC, and then another monitor to monitor your stream from. And then the PC can cost is sometimes can be very expensive. So
Yeah.
so that's why I waited on streaming on Facebook because I thought things were gonna go a lot better than I thought they would.
Mhm.
So I would just stream. I was using a little bit of my own fame to try and work things out. It was going good at first, but I think once people saw that I was playing a video game that they weren't interested in, that's when the views started going down, and then just for months on months on months, it was just nothing but streaming to zero to like maybe two people every night. Just hours of just streaming to sometimes I would stream hours, or sometimes some nights I would go with no viewers, and it just sucked. And like I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get this to work because I was actually getting really good at the video game, and I just didn't know how to get myself out there and stuff. So I was looking for jobs and stuff, and then finally I invested in my PC, came across a little extra money, got my PC, and then I started streaming on Facebook like a couple like I'm brand new to Facebook. It's been a couple of weeks. Like no, like last week. Last week is when I got my PC, and I just started streaming on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been getting a lot more views, a lot more people in the chat, interacting with me, commenting, laughing. I've been having a lot of fun since I've been streaming on Facebook. It's been a lot of fun. I've been having, and then finally, once I became part of the Level Up program, that's when I can finally start earning money, and people have been donating and sending some stars and stuff like that. So I've started making a little bit of money, and I just really hope it keeps going up from here.
How many stars have you? It's a little different, you know. I mean, podcasting, we get that too, but it came from. I think the whole stars thing came from gaming, I
Yeah,
believe.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah,
So I think I've earned
yeah. It's
maybe
all,
about
you know.
like
It's
a little
it's you know.
over couple hundred stars before, like 600-700 stars. It's not that much, but it's better than nothing that I've received over the past couple of months.
Yeah, it feels good, eh? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a little bit of a acknowledgement, from your viewers, because live streaming, it's not easy, and how does it feel for you? You're just streaming there, you want people to join you, but you're seeing it says 0 or 3 people are watching, and how does it feel for you?
It doesn't feel good deep inside. It does not feel good because you're like, why am I not getting views? Why am I not? How do other people do it? And you start doubting yourself. But I try to keep a positive mindset, and I stream to 0 people, to nobody, as if I'm streaming to 100 people.
Yeah,
I try to keep a positive mindset and try to block out that number, the number of views it says. Then I just try to be myself, and I always thought maybe eventually things will start turning around, which it did because I ended up changing platforms. So, but when you're streaming to no one for hours and months, it doesn't feel good because that's when you start doubting yourself, and self doubt.
yeah,
Just this is not good.
yeah. And especially, I just want to throw it out there. You've been dealing with a lot of mental health, and keep going with it, but just like you mentioned earlier, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for
Don't
help.
be afraid this time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that can be the life changer. If you gotta go and ask someone, how do you get more viewers, or all that stuff, and reach out to other gamers, and
Yeah, I've been contacting a lot of people to try and co-stream with, to get some tips and stuff. And I mean, other streamers, they have their own big egos and do whatever they do. They pretty sure they, some of them are just don't want to. I
yeah,
understand that,
yeah,
but like I know eventually someone will help me.
yeah.
So.
You got to create your own. You are your own brand,
Hmm.
and it's getting on TikTok, posting. I think it's like a 3 times rule, where you share what you offer,
Hmm.
something about yourself and what you're doing on a daily on all your platforms, and that's how you promote yourself. And TikTok is another good thing. We're actually live on TikTok right now behind.
Oh, that's cool.
Except they can't hear you. They can only hear me
Oh.
yapping away. And make TikTok videos to promote yourself. And it's not easy at first,
Hmm.
but I feel you, man. I this live streaming thing, some days it's like you give it your all and you're drained, but
Yeah.
keep
Like,
going, man.
yeah, that's why, like, I want to say to some people is like, find what you want to do, find your passion, go start your business, to go start that business you wanted to start. Go whatever it is that you want to do, because there are those days when you really don't want to get up and go do what needs to be done, and you just want to stay in bed. But like once you find what it is that you really truly love or what you have a passion for, it just makes it so much easier to get up out of bed and like go be productive. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a comment here. TikTok opened the door for me. Yeah, Jamie Bellecci designs and makes these beaded earrings, and she's always going live. And she's in northern Saskatchewan, or well, she's north of me, but she's mailing out products all across the continent. So
that's nice.
yeah,
I actually might. I'm gonna do that. I've never really gotten into TikTok before, so I think I'll give it a shot and see how things go.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You know, um, Yeah, Facebook. If you have like a gamer page, do you have a gamer page?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Beamer Boy Facebook.
Oh, it's Beamer Boy and then Josiah's Gaming.
So that's what we need to put here. We'll
Yeah.
get
Okay.
you
Yeah.
some.
It's Beamer Boy and then a dash and then Josiah's Gaming.
Science, Amy. On Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow on Facebook. Beamer Boy Josiah Gaming. Check it
Yeah.
out. There we go. There we go. Everybody who's listening, go follow. And, we got to support Indigenous success everywhere,
Yeah.
and we want, I've mentioned this before, is whether it's clothing or any kind of Indigenous entrepreneurs that somehow we always just go back to the big brand name stuff and where we should be, supporting our Indigenous people to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been good, man. I just want to say thank you for coming on my podcast here. And, if there's anything you would like to share with the viewers here, or if anybody's got a question for Josiah, ask away in the comments and we'll throw it out there. But if there's anything else you want to add, Josiah, leave it up to you.
Not much off the top of my head right now.
Yeah. Maybe what game do you live stream?
Apex Legends.
Yeah. Is that the only one?
Yeah, so far, yeah. But well, right now, since the whole streaming to Facebook is new, trying to come up with a consistent schedule to stream on.
Yeah.
So like a schedule, so that way I can start getting back into my that way I can start getting into a more physical routine as well, getting some physical exercise in as well, and working more on my mental health and stuff like that. Because through these past three couple of years, things have just take a toll on my body, and I'm not in the best physical or mental shape right now. But so that's why I'm trying to work on myself right now with it.
Yeah.
And hopefully I think the schedule will help me get back to being a lot more happy. So I'm working on it right now with myself. So
cool. Good for you, man. Keep it going. I want to say, still young. Don't be afraid to try it out. And don't forget where you come from. You're Navajo.
Mm-hmm.
We're related somehow. We're all strong, resilient people. And, that's something we never even touched on, actually. Your language, you grow up with the language or just very vague?
Yeah, I grew up with the language, but it was just like my mom, my grandmother all speak it fluently. And it just, I don't know, it never really rubbed off on me that much. But I still do speak it. I know how to introduce myself. I know words in English or in Navajo and stuff like that. And and I know when my elders are talking to me, I understand what they're saying and stuff. So, but yeah,
Cool.
and it always comes out best when they're yelling at me. So I always understand. It clicks better when they're yelling at me.
Yeah. It's got more of a punch to it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. Well, Josiah will end her off there. I want to say thank you for coming on here and sharing, about yourself with us. And hopefully that live stream gaming just takes off for you. And
I hope so too.
I know the Dene Nation up north is going to follow you once they see this video. And make sure you ask your cousins to follow my page as well. Eh?
Okay, I got you. I'll give you a shout out.
Cool, man. If you want to say your little farewell to the viewers, you're welcome to.
Okay. All right. Later, guys. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my story and what I had to say.
Cool. Masi Cho, I'll talk to you backstage there. Don't go anywhere. Hey, salot inakudi Josiah Tsosie de la Navajo Nation is in Chalakwaza, Nohayalti, a lot of good stuff in there, I think Dennis, reserves it's in Chase Yareti Babadun, a big city, Kaniko Dila, like culture shock, a lot of, young people couldn't, and I know even for myself, 18 Yola Lash Chase Yo, and, I never forget home, no hanene, lakole, hotla new, and you always go home and do that. It's already not able to do that, but you always remember where you come from. So, yeah, the must-see show you Josiah no check out Basketball or Nothing on Netflix with your boo if you got one. Maybe you can start watching the series. And yeah, so yeah, hey, do you have any hoodies left? I think I have one X large left. One X large left. You can inbox me, and yeah, I think I have one X large left. But with that, Salot in a must-see show soon. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to be live with Leonard Montgrant from the Métis Nation. Métis Nation election coming up soon. So and a lot of mental health. This week, I want to focus on mental health. Anybody who wants to share their story today, reach out to me, please. I appreciate it. And we'll chat. Eyadi Masi Choner host New Salatina Doon Dene Yati podcast live right here on Facebook and YouTube. Masi Cho Salatina Si Willis Janvier Hushinin Telas Tours in Clearwater River Dene Nation band member at the Esclion. And I come to you live. They see Treaty 4 territory. Masi Cho. Have a good night. Thank you for listening to tonight's episode. Follow Dene Yati Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for future updates and new guests. Like and subscribe to Dene Yati Podcast on YouTube. Listen to any past episodes on your mobile devices, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow IOPS Sharing Indigenous Success on Facebook. Check out IOPS